but there's something that people have to recognize. People think that osteoporosis is a white woman's disease.
Yeah, I did. Sure. The
Mhm.
hunched over white lady. Hmm.
Yeah, that's what that, and it's not. It's everybody's bones are thinning, men and women. But what's interesting is this, is that white women have a higher incidence rate for osteoporosis. That doesn't mean that black women aren't getting osteoporosis. It's just that white women are getting it more. But then guess what? What happens after black women or black folks have fractures? Their outcomes are worse.
Their outcomes are worse. Their outcomes are worse. They're dying more readily, and they're becoming destitute was the word that I found in the research. So meaning they can't work, they can't resume their lives. More bad stuff happens to them. And often it identifies some of these other comorbidities that they may not have identified before, like high blood pressure, like diabetes. You know, like how many cases of diabetes are undetected or unreported or undiscovered yet, right? People are walking away like walking time bombs. So Keith, though, do people die? I mean, do people fall because of the osteoporosis, or do they fall and sort of then get tested for it and it's identified? Does the osteoporosis make people fall?
The most people fall because we lead a busy life or multitasking. You may misjudge the height of a step, your carpet. If and that's an interesting point that you bring up, but we'll talk about this segment of this section later. It may either later on in the year or later on in this, on the webcast, is home safety. That's why we'll have a whole segment.
Yeah, we're going to do a show about that. We'll do
Home
a whole show
safety
about that.
and to prevent trips and falls. But
Yeah.
one thing I want to say is just to recap, just to make sure that people understand. Yes, the incidence of osteoporosis is higher with white women, but once black women have a fracture, the death rate is higher, 24% higher. 19% have a higher risk of going into a nursing home and longer nursing.
Wow.
And then even worse, when you start looking at these numbers, that once they have that fracture, over 200, close to 245% higher risk of Medicare dependency.